the opportunity to introduce Lee Cardwell. Lee's from the Mortgage Advice Bureau, and he has joined us tonight to help give you some advice, some hints and tips on how to remortgage your home. So Lee, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass the control over to you now, and I will just let you get on with it, I guess.
Sure.
Let me just double check. Not quite sure how do I make you, there you go. So yeah, enjoy.
Thank you. Right, good evening everyone. I'm just going to share my screen with you, just so we can get started. So hopefully everyone should be able to see that now. So as said before, my name is Lee Cardwell. I'm the Director of the Mortgage Protection Advisor at Mortgage Advice Bureau New Homes. Worked with Strata for a good number of years. And we're going to have a quick chat tonight. So I'm going to have a quick chat to you about remortgaging, what your options are, what you need to do, and then also a little bit about the Mortgage Advice Bureau app, which will help going forward with remortgaging as well. So first thing we generally say to someone is your first steps is speak to an advisor as soon as possible. Lenders will write out to you when your mortgage deal's coming to an end. Don't just jump straight in with them. It's better to contact your advisor and have a chat with them. They'll go through all the options. Remember, your lender is only going to tell you about their particular deal, whereas your advisor can look at those, but also look at everything else for you. The advisor will guide you through the whole process. So when you come to remortgaging, there are a few options. So there's basically a remortgage is basically you are swapping your mortgage from one lender to another. So you might go, say, from the Halifax, and we might remortgage to Nationwide or Leeds or someone else like that. So you're actually changing lender. The other type that you can do is what's called a product transfer or a rate switch. And that's where we keep you with your existing lender and we just transfer you onto a new deal with them. That's usually the quickest one, timescale wise, because it is literally just a case of us selecting a new deal for you, going through the options to make sure it's the right one for you, and then we get that swapped, and it will generally swap as soon as your other deal finishes. The other option you've got, which some people will be looking at doing, is what's called a further advance. So a further advance is where you're wanting to borrow more money against your property. So you might want to do some home improvements, things like that. So you can take a further advance out to borrow more money. So they're generally the three main things that would arise when you're coming to sort of an end of a fixed rate product. So when's the best time for you to apply for a remortgage? Now, there's no real set guidance on this. Obviously, if you want to remortgage on a lender or even with your own lender, if you're within your fixed rate period, there are going to be penalties to pay. So it's, again, speak to an advisor. Some people, particularly in what's happened with the recent market, have wanted to pay the penalty to get out. It's not always that advisable, but that's where you need to speak to an advisor and get the advice. So when it comes to when you can do things, so if you're looking at an existing customer deal, so things like the product transfer, which I mentioned, these are generally available from lenders about 3 months before the end of your current product. So they'll open that up usually 3 months before. You can select the product, apply for it, and it'll start from as soon as your product finishes. The other option we've got is if you remortgage with a lender, this can be done at any time, but usually around about 6 months prior to your lending. So we can look at this process earlier on. Now, again, there's no fast or hard and fast rule as to which is the best option in these. In the current climate, it has been most recent that the existing customer deals, product transfers, have been better rates than you have by swapping lender. But that has, if I'm honest, that has just been in the last couple of months when we've had all the upheaval of interest rates increasing. Generally, it is a case of speaking to an advisor and they will look at the best option for you. And we can do that up to 6 months before. There's no immediate rush on there because it would just have a completion date of when your deal ends. Some people do want to look sooner just so they can get the deal secured. And we've done that for a number of customers. We've secured a deal when the interest rates have been on the increase with a view that if they do drop before the end of the current fixed rate deal, then we look at changing that mortgage anyway so we can swap it and get it onto another deal. Okay. So you can do it really anytime sort of 6 months before. So the reason you might want to remortgage or do a transfer. Then the first option is straightforward, which is what most people want to do, which is just a straight rate swap. So you come into a fixed rate, you don't want to go onto the variable rate, you want another fixed rate. So it's just a case of swapping your rate onto another deal. You might want to repay all or part of your Help to Buy. So if you've got a Help to Buy mortgage in the past, or got a current Help to Buy mortgage, you might be looking at paying some of that back now. So that again is another reason to remortgage. If that's the sort of thing that you are looking to do, then we would recommend looking quite early in the process, because you have to go through the process of applying to pay off part of the Help to Buy. So it is generally something I would look at a little bit earlier if you were looking to do that. Other options are some people, particularly in the current climate, wanting to make home improvements. So building extensions, changing kitchens, bathrooms, etc., etc. Then you can raise money in your property at the same time doing a remortgage for home improvements. Again, another option is debt consolidation. Some people wanting to get all the debts paid off, so they've got a cheaper monthly payment. Again, if you are doing that, we do have to do quite a bit of analysis on there to see if it is better, more beneficial for you to do that. It's not just a case of straightforward just saying, oh yeah, let's just do that and add all your debts up and pay them off with your mortgage, because you do have to be aware that you're probably making an unsecured debt secured. So it is quite a lot of work that we need to do on that just to make sure that it is beneficial for you. Now, another reason might be you might want to buy another property. So people wanting to get into the buy-to-let market, raise some money on their current house to enable them to get a deposit for a buy-to-let or something like that. Other things to review as well. So it's not just a case of looking at your mortgage. We will also look at other things that you need to review at the same time. And this is a bit that people don't always realise. It's not just a case of swapping your rate, which is again why you've got to talk to an advisor. So you've got life insurance, your critical illness cover, income protection, family income benefit, your home insurance, whether you've got trust for any of these policies, and whether you've made a will. Now, it's an ideal time for your advisor to review all your protection. Circumstances may well have changed from when you first got your home. You know, you might have changed job, you might now have children which you've not got before. And also you'll be surprised how much the covers have changed in the last few years, particularly things like critical illness cover and income protection, how important trusts are and how important it is to have a will. So again, we as an advisor will look at all that for you, do a full review. So it's not just your mortgage we're going to review your whole protection package just to make sure that everything's correct to what your needs are now. Particularly again in the current market, cost of living, things like that. It's even more important to have these covers in place so that should anything happen to either of you, you've got some money there, make you more financially stable. So we would want to review the whole lot for you. So I mentioned before, at Mortgage Advice Bureau, we've now got a new Mortgage Advice Bureau app, My MAB app. There's various reasons to download this. This is what this is showing now. And this is based on, it's still in development. There's parts of it live now and parts aren't. So these are more if you were buying a home, the initial bits that are live currently. Or if you're buying a home, it can take you through that process, reviewing your affordability, how much you can afford to get. Helps you towards saving a deposit. But even still, if you're looking to a remortgage, you might be thinking, well, my deal's not up for 2 years. I want to raise some, I want to make some money now, get some money saved up, so that I can use it as part of paying the Help to Buy, use it to reduce my mortgage. Then you might want to look at this as well as a savings tool. It will point you in the right direction of best savings accounts. You set a goal that it will do, and it will help you monitor that goal to see how you're getting on. There's also expert articles in there tailored towards your needs. So again, that will include things like remortgaging. Things like the budget we've had today will all include articles in there, so you can see what benefit there are or what you're going to be better or worse off going forward. Mortgage Passport is effectively when you're ready to go. So again, this app can still be used to get things in motion so that you're ready to speak to an advisor, and then you want to connect to an advisor. Now, if you do this, I'll put our broker code in there. So our broker code is 1637. So if you download the app, it will then ask you for a broker code. You put in 1637, then you then want to contact an advisor. That will come to us at MAB New Homes Mortgages. So we would then pick that inquiry up for you and help you out. So you can register that now, even if you're looking at remortgaging, and just get to speak to an advisor that way. So puts you in touch with an advisor. It's available on Google. And it's available on the Apple Store as well. And remember to enter our code 1566. This is being recorded. I believe it's going to be sent out as well. But if you haven't got any phones ready or anything at the minute, then there's also a QR code which will be coming up at the end. This page on here, the monthly home report, this is going to be what's going to benefit you going forward. This isn't quite live as yet. It's still in the production stage. But basically what this will do, and it's all part of this app, and it doesn't matter if you've not got your mortgage with us initially, you can actually put your mortgage details in on the app, and then this will generate things for you. So it will constantly check mortgage rates. As you can see on this example there, it's now compared this gentleman's deal 35,000 times. So it's constantly checking what deals are available compared to what you've got, to let you know if there's something far significantly better out there than what you've got. It gives you updates on your property valuations. So it will, again, constantly check what your property is worth. So you might think, well, it's actually worth a bit more now. We could do that. Home improvements. We might want to remortgage earlier. We might even look to moving. It has your specific mortgage details in there. So it'll tell you your balance, your payments, your equity, and when your rate ends. So that's all in there, which will then, again, push through to us so that we would contact you before your rate ends on that. And like I said, you will get that, and that's done on a monthly basis, all part of the app on there. I said before, there's a QR code on there for it. You can just use your phone for that. Or again, like I said, this has been sent out, I believe, so you'll just be able to do it from that. But like I said, just download the MyMAP app. And just as a reminder, you do download it, the code you want, ignore that first one, that's the wrong code. Should be 1637. So 1637 is the introducer code that you would need to put in, and that will connect you to us as a business. We can then help you out with what you're needing to do. Again, my details on there, so if you want to email me directly, if you've got any questions, or the phone number's on there. That's about it from my presentation. If you haven't got any questions or anything, I don't know if you are able to unmute yourselves, or if you want to put in the questions and answers box. Just leave it for a couple of minutes, see if anyone's got any questions. Stop sharing now. Okay, so there's none coming through. So I think if that's it, then we'll leave it for there. So my details, if you needed them, are all available on this recording, which will be going out to you all. So hopefully speak to you soon. Thank you. Anything else that anybody's got to ask? Okay, that's it. I'll end it and hopefully speak to some of you soon. Thank you. Oh, just another question come through. Sorry about that. So Nadia, property wants to keep on a great fixed rate. So Nadia's asked a good question. If she's on a great fixed rate at the moment, she wants to buy a new home, how does she keep the rate? A lot of mortgages are what we call portable rates. So what that means is that you can transfer that onto your new property. Again, it depends on when you sell yours to when you buy the new one. There's generally analysed there depending on the lender, but it is possible to transfer that rate over. Another question, if you want to remortgage, I need to go to my current mortgage bank or new bank I choose to switch to. So I think I know what you're asking there. Asking if you do want to remortgage, do you need to go to the bank? So do you need to change your bank account? The answer to that is no. You don't need to have your bank account with the same bank as your mortgage. You can have it wherever you want. I think that's what you mean. Or if you are asking the question, do you need to actually go into the bank to do a remortgage? Then again, no, that's where your advisor will come in. So contact us or contact an advisor, and they will be able to advise you on the best way forward. We do everything generally by this way, by Zoom. So we have appointments with people over Zoom, and then we'll arrange the mortgage. So you don't actually have to go to the bank at all. If it was about the current account, you don't need to change that as well. And Emmanuel has asked if there's be able to receive a recording of this session. He's got held back. I'm sure Strata will sort it out. It is being recorded, so I'm sure we'll get that sorted for you, Emmanuel. I think that's it. That's all the answers, all the questions we've had. So I'll end the session, and thank you very much for attending.